everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have some tea empties to share with you, and I just started a sip down, and these teas are from before I started the sip down, so I kind of wanted to get these out of the way before I start showing you guys the empties that I'm actually finishing through the sip down. So this is not as big as it usually is, but that's just because I wanted to clear the basket. So let's go ahead and jump in. And some of these you've probably seen if you guys watch my tea vlogs, because some of these I did try or feature in those, so I would have already given a little bit of a review, but I guess this is kind of a more combined review of everything. So first, let's start with the Celestial Seasonings Caramel Apple Dream Herbal Tea. So I have been on a quest to find my perfect caramel apple tea, and this one is good, but I feel like it can definitely get a little bit tart. And this is one too that if you overbrew this, it can definitely get bitter very quickly. And I think it's the cinnamon bark in that. So I don't think, because the first ingredient is cinnamon. And cinnamon bark, a lot of times, it can get a little bitter. So I don't think this is my dream caramel apple tea. And the ingredients are cinnamon, hibiscus is the second, which is very tart. And then you have natural caramel and apple flavors with other natural flavors, orange peel, chamomile, roasted chicory, ginger, and sea salt. To be honest, maybe the part of it too is that sea salt, because I'm not really a huge salted caramel fan. I like the buttery, rich, sweet caramel instead. So I actually do have another box of this that is completely unopened. I definitely will drink through that. Once I have finished that box, I think at that point I'll decide if I want to repurchase it again. With this tea, I generally drink it iced, because the iced, it definitely helps to cut down on the tartness of it. But I really, really want to find a perfect caramel apple tea that's sweet with spices and that sweet caramel taste, the buttery caramel taste that I can enjoy warm for this time of year. So, and this just isn't it. Next up, we have a box of the Bigelow Toasted Coconut and Almond Bark Black Tea. I have another box of this too that's completely unopened. I love this tea. It's the Toasted Coconut Almond Bark. So if it's summertime, you get that coconut flavor, so it can feel very tropical, but then you add in that almond bark and it almost is reminiscent of a Christmas candy. So I feel like you can definitely enjoy it in the winter, Christmas time and everything. So this is definitely a year-round type of drink. I like it iced, I like it hot, it's just good. And this is, the coconut in this is a very true coconut flavor in my opinion. When you smell this tea, it actually has a smell of if you opened a bag of actual shredded coconut from the grocery store. So definitely love this tea. Will always probably have that in my stash. Next up is the Bigelow Earl Grey Black Tea. Now this was the first time that I had tried the Earl Grey Black Tea. So this was my first box ever. And I love their Earl Grey. Where are the ingredients here? Because I should have, it says black tea, natural oil of bergamot. This is an Earl Grey that is very smooth. I wondered if it had some citrus added to it, because this is not one of your Earl Greys that is in your face bergamot, even though the ingredients are just black tea and natural oil of bergamot. Maybe other brands just add too much of that bergamot. And I like bergamot, don't get me wrong, but this is a very smooth one, like I said before. So if you're not into that in-your-face bergamot, if that's overpowering to you, this is just so, so good. So this is one, a lot of times with the really, really strong Earl Greys, I tend to add sweetener and a little bit of cream or milk or something, or make it into a latte. With this, I can drink it straight black, and it is so good. So good. Just, there's no bitterness, there's no sourness, there's no nothing. It's just very, very smooth. So I actually do not have any more of this, and I need to pick up another box for sure. Okay, so the rest of what I have are all smaller sizes. First up is the Black Cherry Berry by Celestial Seasonings. I did this in the tea vlog that featured all Celestial Seasonings, and I love this tea. It tastes kind of like cherry pie filling or something. I enjoyed it iced, and I loved it. So I definitely want to get a full-size box of that. We also have one of the David's Tea S'mores Chai. This is like one of my staples. Can you see it? No, it's up here. Right out of camera range, but I actually have the full-size tin of the S'mores Chai. S'mores Chai is one of my top 5 favorite David's teas. I absolutely love this. So I actually, when I have it in loose leaf. I would kind of like to get it in sachet form just to be able to like throw a couple in my purse, or like for travel or something. It would just be easier to have some of the sachets. So I definitely would like to get more of those. Next up, I have the Yogi Caramel Apple Spice Slim Life. There's 2 of those. This was featured in, was it a vlog? I know I've talked about this tea. Maybe it was a tea talk. Yeah, I'm not really a huge fan of it. It's very light, in my opinion. You definitely can taste a little bit of the caramel, but not a whole lot of the spice. And even the caramel is very muted, I felt like. So this was, I mean, I will definitely finish the box that I have, but this is not something that I would purchase again. Next up is the Pinky Up Apple Spice Cake. Now, I have talked about this one too, and I believe that was in a tea talk. This is amazing. This would be my caramel apple tea of choice for sure, but they don't have it anymore, which a lot of you in the video where I talked about this originally have suggested a few things for me, like whether, you know, because they have one and it's called like apple pie, I believe, the same company, this Pinky Up. So a lot of you suggested, you know, comparing the ingredients because maybe it's the same tea, they just switched the name. A lot of you suggested, you know, contacting the company and seeing about this particular tea, which I have not followed through with that. I haven't done any of those things, but I fully plan to, because yes, this was an amazing tea. So hopefully I can figure out, you know, what happened to it. Next up is this Calafia tea. This is the Peach Apricot Hibiscus Loose Leaf Tea. This I did in, I want to say this was an AT vlog. I did this iced and it was okay. Or was this the one that I actually liked? I think I was thinking I wasn't going to like it because it has apricot and hibiscus and I'm not a fan. But maybe I did like this. This is the problem, guys. See, I used to keep a notebook and take notes on all the teas that I tried, and I have not done that recently. And I'm telling you, if I don't write something down, it's gone. So I don't remember. I'm going to have to go back and watch my own tea vlog and see how I felt about this one. I don't know. Okay, next up, this is a Sips by Tea. It's the Steep Society, and this is a woman's breakfast tea. This was good. It was just straight black tea. There was no like flavors or anything added to it. Here's the dilemma I have faced with the Sips by Teas. You can buy full sizes of a lot of these, but I don't know, like, unless you can like order a whole bunch, unless there's like a ton of different ones that you really like, to pay shipping for one tea, I'm just kind of like, And with this one, it was good. It was a great black tea, but I feel like there are so many other really great black teas out there. So I wouldn't purchase this one and pay shipping on it unless I was getting like a whole group and I could get free shipping. Then I would probably add this to the cart, but you know, on its own, not worth the shipping. I feel like, in all honesty, like every other tea brand, a lot of them have really good black teas. The other thing is, even grocery stores, a lot of grocery stores, there are some really, really great black teas, you know, in their grocery store brands. So I don't know. It wasn't anything unique enough to buy. Next, we have, this is also a Sips by Tea. This is the Tea Head Tropical Punch Blend. So this, the first ingredients are apple, rose hip shells, and hibiscus. So right off the rip, you know, I saw that. You guys know I'm not huge on tart teas. So I brewed this up iced, and I fully was like not expecting to like it. And I was so shocked to find out that this is so similar to David's Tea's Caribbean Crush. It really, like, there is a tartness to it, but not much. There's also coconut flakes, pineapple cubes, hibiscus flavoring. So when I compared this, because I have a huge tin of the David's Tea Caribbean Crush, this is all like natural stuff. Well, it has hibiscus flavoring. Other than that, it's, you know, straight coconut, straight pineapple. So the only difference that I can see is the David's Tea has like a strawberry flavoring. So I feel like and it also has a cream flavoring. So I feel like that strawberry cream flavoring in the David's Tea Caribbean Crush, that I think is what I really, really like about that tea, because it makes it taste kind of like a strawberry fruit punch, whereas this does not have strawberry flavoring, but I feel like the coconut flakes add a little bit of creaminess. And I don't know if maybe it's the pineapple, but this is very, very similar. Now, again, I already have the coconut or the David's Tea Caribbean Crush, a whole big tin of it, and I order from David's Tea. So it's very easy for me to add the Caribbean Crush to my order. If I was placing an order from Sips By and I wasn't going to have to pay shipping, I would probably add this tea to my cart, because I think it was $1 or $2 cheaper than the David's Tea. But the fact that I have a full size of the Caribbean Crush, I don't really feel like I need to. But if you are ordering from Sips By and you want something like the Caribbean Crush because you don't have it, this is very, very similar. Next up, let's see. Okay, so there's a story behind this. There's always a story, isn't there? When you come to my channel, just know you're going to be here for a little bit because I like to talk. Okay, so this was in one of my tea vlogs. It's the Coastal Carrot Cake from Beach House Teas. And I actually really, really liked this one. In fact, I was like, wow, I like this enough that I think I would probably order it. Well, after doing that video, I also tried the Simpson and Vale dessert tea collection, their carrot cake cupcake green rooibos herbal tea, and I have to say the Simpson and Vale one for me won. So as far as carrot cake teas, if I was ordering from Beach House and I was, you know, getting a bunch of other stuff, I might throw this in my cart. But if I'm not, I order from Simpson and Vale all the time, so it's much easier for me to get this one. And I did actually like the Simpson and Vale carrot cake one better. So I feel like the Beach House one, you could taste the spices more. Whereas the Simpson and Vale, you could taste the spices, but it also had kind of like a buttercreamy sweetness. And that's kind of what I go with. So for me, the Simpson and Vale definitely won. Next up, we have 2 of the Stash Pumpkin Spice Decaf Teas. I love this tea. I like having a black tea that's pumpkin spice that I can also enjoy in the evening, and this has been my go-to. I have not found another pumpkin spice tea that's a black tea that's decaf that I like better than this, so this is one that will probably always be in my collection unless I find something I like better. It's really, really good. This was in a tea vlog. This is the Trank Bar Dandelion and Elderflower. It's a black tea. This is okay. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not anything unique or amazing. It's just a black tea with some fruity flavor, basically. So not anything that I would, you know, feel the need to run out and purchase. There is a Twinings French Vanilla Chai tea bag. I also love this. This is the kind of a chai that, like, if you don't want to add cream, but you kind of want that sweet, creamy flavor, this is a good one because it's got that French vanilla flavor added to it. So definitely like that. We'll continue to purchase that. Next up is the Miracle Tree Super Caffeinated Moringa Infusion. This is the chai. Wasn't impressed with this one at all. In fact, I think I had 3 more of these tea bags, and I ended up just giving them away to someone else because wasn't a fan. I have one of these traditional medicinals organic roasted dandelion root. I actually really like this. This is one of those things, I think if you are someone who likes coffee, you probably would like this because roasted dandelion root is pretty bitter, and that roasted taste kind of gives you like a coffee like flavor. Every once in a while, like if I'm feeling like I can read my body pretty well, and if I'm feeling kind of sluggish or like bleh, I don't know, like I will drink this and I swear it helps. And it's actually for, I believe, your like it's kind of like a liver cleanser. It doesn't say on this, but I'm pretty sure. Let's see, where is it? Let's see if I can see. What does it say? Okay, yeah, it stimulates the liver and supports healthy digestion. And I'm telling you, I feel like it does work for me. So I really like it and will continue to get it. The last one I have is the David's Tea Banana Nut Bread Fruit Infusion. This has been like kind of an ongoing drama for me. I had received a sample of the banana nut bread from David's Tea a couple years ago, and I loved it. Like, loved it. So I ended up ordering 2 of these size bags, paying full price for them and everything because I liked it that much. And when I drank the first bag, I was like, this is not what I remember. This is not what I felt like the sample tasted like at all. And so I thought, well, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm brewing this wrong. So I kept trying and kept trying. You guys actually had given me suggestions on, brewing it longer than what the bag says and just all sorts of different things. So I tried all of those. This is actually the second bag. So the first bag was already, I finished up. This was the second. And I figured if I, by the time I get to the end of the second bag, if I'm still kind of struggling, I'm not going to purchase it again. And that was kind of the story. It never tasted like that sample that I got. So I don't know what happened. I don't know how you can get a sample that tastes so different from the actual tea like in a full-size bag, but it just wasn't what it was as a sample. So I won't be repurchasing this one. Adagio Tea actually makes a really, really good banana nut bread tea, and I think I'd rather purchase that one instead. So that's a no-go. Okay, so that was it, you guys. That was all the empties that I have right now. Like I said, though, I am doing a sit down, so I should start having quite a few empties for you. So hopefully I'll start doing these a little bit more often. But let me know what kinds of things you are sipping down if you have any recommendations. I also love to hear your guys' fails. Like those sometimes are funny, so comment down below. Have you had any teas recently that were super disgusting? Let me know all about those. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for a little bit, and I will see you next time.